Just recently, I had this eye-opening moment that completely changed my perspective on growing my YouTube channel. At the start, I was worried about following my passion and picking a niche that I loved and leveraging my skills. And that was great in the beginning, but soon I kind of realized that there's a whole lot more to this journey. So, the very first thing is the mirage of instant success that obviously doesn't take place. I remember looking at all those mega popular YouTube channels and thinking, like, hey, I could be the next big hit, but I quickly learned that a few successful channels doesn't mean that the whole niche is thriving. For example, it's like sports, right? For every superstar athlete that you see on TV, there's thousands who never made it. And the same goes for YouTube when you're picking your niche as well. For every channel that's getting millions of views, there's countless other, if not hundreds or thousands others, that are struggling to get noticed in that niche. So you need to go a step further and do a little bit more research. You can't just see a video, find the channel, and be like, oh, that's a good niche because this channel's killing it. Doesn't work that way. You need to get the full picture of YouTube, which is the second one, right? So my mantra is validate, 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 right? Test, test, test. And I started looking at my niche from all the angles. I needed to see not just the successful channels, but also the ones that are struggling for attention as well. And this helped me understand the real potential and the real challenges that I could face, right? Not just the winners, but also the losers and how much in between based on the demand. And that ties me into point number 3, which is the gold mine that is supply and demand in any business, but also YouTube. Don't overlook this. It literally is the backbone and the foundation for business as a whole and commerce in general. Now, I learned the importance of finding a niche with an existing audience, right? Once you do that, it gets so much easier. The viewers are already looking for content like this, but you have to be careful, obviously, because if the niche is too crowded, even though there is viewers, if it's already oversaturated, it can be tough to stand out. So it's all about finding that kind of sweet spot in between. And that's why the power is in the research, right? So thinking about it now, it kind of makes me chuckle at how people, but myself included in the beginning as well, would spend hours and hours and a lot of effort creating the videos, but barely any time researching the market, right? Wouldn't it make a lot more sense to spend a little bit more time, maybe even a day, just researching your niche market and finding a good one? That way, you're not fighting an uphill battle and you have a lot greater chance to succeed. Choosing the right niche means deep diving into research. It's about finding topics that people are interested in and understanding your competitors and what's working for them, but also what they're not bringing, how you can differentiate. You constantly need to do a content check and revalidate your video ideas. If my videos weren't getting views, for example, well, I knew I had to take a hard look at what I was doing, right? Often it wasn't about the quality of the videos or the graphics or my voiceover. The real question was, are there actually enough people that are interested in this topic? And that could not be more true. For example, on my main YouTube channel right now, I, for a while, was talking a lot about like Amazon drop shipping and continually talking about Facebook Marketplace drop shipping, even though interest in those was like diving down here in the current year, even though they had been, popular in the past. And so as soon as I kind of made the switch over to TikTok shops, which I explored, I saw that even if my videos weren't like amazing, they were getting a significant amount more views just because there was a lot more baseline interest in that topic. Same thing with YouTube automation. And so you need to find a niche that obviously you have an expertise in and you can talk about and make good videos on, but you also need to find one where there's a baseline interest in the topic so you're not, again, fighting that uphill battle. Now, one strategy that pretty much everybody swears by, it doesn't matter if you're talking about business in general, but in this case, YouTube, is study the greats, right? Study the top people like Mr. Beast or other people in your niche that are succeeding. Analyze their thumbnails, analyze their titles, analyze how they're creating their videos, how are they editing them, analyze how they're creating their intros to get viewers hooked immediately. Even if you're making a small improvement, it's going to make a major difference if you incrementally make small improvements every single video, and slowly over time, a month or 2 from now, your videos will be drastically different and drastically improved. Growing a YouTube channel is about consistency, it's about quality, it's about constantly learning and constantly improving. As I, for example, kept creating content on topics that people loved, success started to kind of feel not just possible, but inevitable. So if you're thinking about starting or growing a YouTube channel, remember it's more than just making videos. It's about understanding your audience, that's crucial, but also understanding your niche as a whole, constantly refining your approach, and consistency over time. But trust me, if you do these things, it will pay off.